Welcome to O-Line Security, a training academy helping you break into IT. Yo, what up, what up, what up? This is Toby with O-Line Security, and we're back with another quick and short video. This one is going to be about keys, asymmetric keys, our public and private keys. We're going to learn how to create them really quick. I'll show you how to do it from the command line, and then I'll show you how to do it with PuTTY. I will attach a video here to show you how to use those keys to actually SSH into your systems. But for now, we're going to keep this one short and sweet. If the video is going a little bit too fast for you, please do me a favor and slow it down. Slow it down to your liking, to your preference, so you're able to learn along with us. All right, let's go for it, y'all. So first things first, from the command line or terminal, since we're on Linux, we're just going to use SSH keygen. SSH keygen is the command. We can just use this as is. I'm going to show you a few extra options, but you can use this as is to get to the default settings. So here we go. Default setting. Where do you want to save your keys? We can save it in our default location. The default location is always going to be the SSH folder. There's a dot before because any directory with a dot prefix to it will be hidden. So this is hidden. It's going to be in your user's directory. Your user directory is under home. If your username is student 1, student 2, student 3, you will find your user directory under the home directory. And then within your user directory, you will find a .ssh folder. If it's not there, you can create it, but it should be there by default. This is going to be the name of our key. This will be the private key. The public key will have a .pub at the end. Just hit enter. We already have one that exists. I'm going to overwrite it. And if I do ls to list out all the contents of my directory, you don't see the .ssh folder because it is hidden. So if I do ls-a, you will see the .ssh folder now, and you will see the other hidden files and folders as well. But .ssh is there. If I do ls.ssh, you will see the keys that we created are right here. We have this private key. How do we know it's private? Because it does not have the .pub at the end. The .pub, this is our public key. Private key, public key. If we want to see what it looks like, cat.ssh, this is what the private key looks like. Boom. If you want to see what the public key looks like, this is it. Obviously, it's going to be shorter than the actual private key. If you wanted to make longer keys, you can do SSH-keygen, and we can use the RSA algorithm, and we can do -B for the bytes. Do we want to save this? I'm going to give it a file. I'm going to call it new keys. I don't want to passphrase for it. I don't want a password. I want this to be passwordless authentication. Once again, I will link the video to where we actually use the SSH keys. So if I go back and look in that directory again, ls.ssh, whoops, you will see, well, actually, it's right here. I didn't save it in that new directory. I saved it here. I didn't give it a full path. So they saved the keys here. I can move them from here to, use the move command to move everything that starts with new keys, wildcard, to the .ssh folder. Now we'll do a ls on the .ssh folder. We will see our new keys. Next time, if we want them to be saved under the .ssh folder, we have to give the full path. So it will be .ssh, and then that will be the name new keys. But you probably have to give it the full absolute path. So it'll be home, your user account, .ssh, and then keys. So if we look at those keys, our private key is longer now, way longer, because we didn't use the default settings. We told it how many keys or the bit size to use. And our public key is going to match it. It's, well, not one for one, but it's going to match the length because of the algorithm and the key size we use. So that's it on the Linux side. If we come over to, if you have a Windows operating system, you'll need to download, well, you could probably do this from the Windows terminal as well, but I'm going to show you. Yeah, you can do the same thing we just did from the Windows terminal as well, but I'm also going to show you a GUI, a application that you can use to do this. And this is called Putty. All right, Putty, Putty. You will have to download and install it. It is free. When you do download and install it, you will get this application called Putty Generator. All right, pretty easy. You're just going to select generate. This is going to create a public and private key for you. Just wiggle your mouse around, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Boom. Here is the public key. We can go ahead and save the private key. Just hit save private key. Is going to ask you, like it asked on Linux, are you sure that you don't want to use a password for this? We are sure. Hit yes. And then just give it a name. And I will show you what my key looks like. And it's going to be the exact same type of key, which is asymmetric encryption. Remember, asymmetric encryption uses two keys. The public key to decrypt, the private key to public key to encrypt, I'm sorry. Private key to decrypt. Here you can see this is my private key right here. I'll separate it. Below is the private key. And above is our public key. Same thing that we did on Windows or on Linux is the same thing that we can do with this Putty generator. All right, this is the same exact thing. Hey y'all, if y'all enjoyed this video, if you've been enjoying this content, please don't forget to smash the like button. Please don't forget to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Stay tuned for the next quick, short videos. Other than that, stay safe. Hold on to your loved ones. Get them fat, 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 fat kisses. Make sure they know that you love them. And don't forget to study, y'all. Peace.